Okay, so in this video, we'll keep looking at some other Boolean operators that are very useful in programming. In this case, we're going to take a look at the AND operator. So what is the AND operator? Well, the AND operator is an operator that we use when we want to compare two conditions. So basically, we're not actually comparing them. We could say that we are telling the if statement that something needs to happen. So inside the if statement, we can have a condition. So we can have a condition 1, for example, one condition, and then we have the AND operator, and we have a second condition. So for this code over here to execute, both conditions need to be true. The condition that is at the left side of the AND operator needs to be true, and the condition that is at the right side of the AND operator needs to be true, so that the code inside the if statement executes. So let's take a look at an example. We have an example here where we have an if statement, and it says if 3 is greater than 1, so this would be the first condition, and we have another condition at the right side of the AND operator. So this is the AND operator, and we have another condition that says if that compares 5 greater than 4. So 3 greater than 1, this is true, and 5 greater than 4, this is also true. So there's an AND operator, and both conditions need to be true. Both conditions are true, so this code over here will execute. Then we have an else statement over here, and well, the else statement, you know what it does. If the code inside the if statement does not execute because the condition is false, then the else statement will execute. Okay, so let's say that one condition is false. So let's say that this condition was false and this condition was true. Everything would evaluate to false, and the else statement would print out. So both conditions need to be true. That's very important that you understand that. Okay, now let's take a look at another operator. This one is called the OR operator. So the OR operator is similar to the AND operator, but in the OR operator, only one condition needs to be true. So one condition could be false, and the other could be true, and the code inside the if statement will execute. If both conditions are false, then the else statement is going to execute if there's an else statement, and if there's not an else statement, then the code inside the if statement is not going to execute. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, so in this example, we have if 3 is greater than 1 and 5 less than 4. 3 greater than 1, this is true, and 5 less than 4, this is false, because 5 is greater than 4. So we have a condition that is true and a condition that is false, separated by an OR operator. So in this case, this is going to evaluate to true. This will evaluate the whole thing will evaluate to true, because only one condition needs to be true for the whole expression to be true. So this code will execute. If both conditions were false, let's say that this was a false, and so both conditions were false, then the whole expression would evaluate to false, so the else statement would execute. Okay, so now I have a challenge for you. In this challenge, you have to figure out which code will execute. In the first case, we have an if statement with some expressions inside the parentheses, and you have here a second example with another if statement and some expressions, and you need to figure out which code will execute, if code 1 is going to execute or code 2. So I want you to pause the video and think it out for yourself. Okay, think about it. All right, so let's take a look at the first example. Here we have an if statement, and inside the if statement we can see that we have two expressions over here. Okay, because the parentheses tell us that this is a whole expression because it's inside the parentheses. So here we have one expression, and here we have another expression separated by an OR operator. So 3 less than 1, this is false. Okay. So we know that the first condition is false. Now let's take a look at the second condition. The second condition is a condition composed of two other conditions separated by an OR operator. So this OR operator is separating two conditions inside the second condition. Okay, so 5 is greater than 4, this is true. And 3 is not equal to 3, this is false, because 3 is equal to 3. So there's a true and there's a false separated by an OR operator. This evaluates to true. And there's a true and there's a false over here. There's a true and there's a false separated by an OR operator. This evaluates to true, because only one condition needs to be true for the code inside the if statement to work. So in this case, code 1 will execute. Okay, now let's take a look at the second example. In the second example, we also have two conditions separated in this case by an AND operator. So you have one condition and the other condition over here. So let's take a look at the more simple condition. So 4 equals 4, this is true. We have an AND operator, so both conditions need to be true for code 1 to execute. Okay, so let's take a look at the second condition. It's a condition composed of two conditions separated by an OR operator. 2 greater than 1. 2 is greater than 1. Yes, this is true. And 3 greater than 6, this is false. Okay, but it's separated by an OR operator, so only one condition needs to be true. So this whole expression on the left side is true, and on the right side is also true. So true and true, it means that the code 1 will execute, because this AND operator demands that both conditions, on the right and on the left, are true for the code 1 to execute. Okay, I hope you understand it so far, and I'll see you in the next video.